It's your favorite YouTuber, guys. DS Learning Finance, financial educating you guys to freedom for the beginners by from beginner every Sunday at 3 p.m. Viewing a property can seem like such a daunting task. Yes, it's simple, but could be very challenging at the same time. How do you know that this property is going to be a good one? How do you know that there aren't any underlying issues that could affect this property long term? And most importantly, how do you find out all of this and more just from viewing the property that one time? The truth is, you're never going to be able to 100% get all the issues surrounding that property just from that one view. But what I'm going to discuss in this video is going to help you get close to that number. Before you do that, leave a like, share this video too, and subscribe with notification bell on if you haven't done so already down below. Before I talk about what to look for when you're viewing a property, I've got this one little tip that you have to do whenever you're viewing a property, and it's to record everything. Take photos, take videos, as many as you can. Don't leave any stone unturned. Record everything. Because I guarantee you guys, by the time you get home, you'll be asking yourself, how did the kitchen look like? Where was the bathroom again? And so on. Don't be that person, please. And also be organized in the way that you take your photos and videos. Don't be the sort of person that takes photos of the kitchens now and then might take a photo of the living room just before they leave. Don't be that guy. Be methodical. The same way that you approach that property, it's the same way you should be taking photos and videos on that property, so that when you do forget, you can retrace your footsteps that you used to walk into that property. So, onto the actual viewing process. What do you have to look out for? Well, for me, I look out for two things, and it's quite simple. A, the major issues, what are they? And B, the minor issues, as you can probably guess. Now, the way I do this is with a little bit of a twist, because every time I see an issue in the property, I make notes of how much it will cost to fix. So constantly as I'm walking through the property, I'm building up a number in my head, and I compare that with how much I'm willing to invest doing up that property. So as you're walking through the property, this number should be racking up each and every time you spot an issue. But back into point A, what are the major issues? To me, these are the things that affect the integrity of the property. If a person was to stay there, these are the things that should significantly affect their living standards in that property. Just to name a few, this can be huge cracks on walls that affect the structure of the building, for example. It could be flooding issues, roofing issues, the boiler not working, for example. These are just some of the major issues that either require a lot of money for you to fix or require a lot of time too, but unfortunately are unavoidable whenever you're looking at living in that property. I remember when I was looking at a property in Kettering. Now, this was before we bought the property. Me and my brothers bought the property in Corby. So this was one of the potential properties. So we went there for the viewing, and the owner was there at the time, which was great because we could ask them more questions, find out more about the property. And he showed us around, and we were happy with the property. But for some reason, it seemed like this person was trying to avoid the backyard space. They never really directly said it, but at the same time, if you're not willing to show me your backyard, then there must be something going on there. So me being me, I inquired about it. And I said, do you mind if we take a look at the backyard? He seemed a bit reluctant, but eventually showed us it. And the backyard was actually okay, but off to the left a bit, in a tiny little corner, there was a puddle. And this puddle, well, it wasn't a puddle, it was more like a flood. This flood was not going down. It was not going down the drain. So we asked the owner what was happening, because obviously it's not right, you shouldn't be seeing this. And basically what happened was this property was at one of the last houses at the bottom of the hill. Now what was happening was the very last house at the bottom of the hill had a flooding issue. So all of that sewage was backlogging up to that property. So you can imagine, if we were to rent that property out, have to fix that problem without a shadow of a doubt. It's so unsanitary to live in that property with sewage that's not going down. Big problem. And not to talk of the financial issue, the amount of strain. It was just too much of a task for us to take on. So by this time, we knew cold red, this is not a property we're going to buy. But just out of curiosity, we asked the owner what were they doing about it. And they said that they tried to get it covered under their home insurance. Apparently it cost £20,000 to fix. Their home insurance wasn't fixing it. Imagine if we rented it out, guys. Imagine if we bought the property just from that one viewing. Imagine if we didn't leave that stone unturned. Imagine if we didn't check out the backyard. It's just so many possibilities. That's why I always stress, guys, look at everything. The attention is in the detail. It's so important. And be wary of people too, because everyone's out there for themselves. That owner that we went to that property to view, he could have very well told us of the issue straight away, and upon which we wouldn't have even considered that property. But it's still our responsibility as a viewer to make sure that we view each and every detail surrounding that property. So it's quite important. If you have to take your time, give these people, give the person who's going to show you the property, tell them that, give them the heads up on it. Let them know, look, I don't want to rush this. I want to take my time with it. Upon which they'll be more than happy, more inclined to give you some more time to view that property. And onto the second type of issues, the minor issues, which you can probably guess by now are the opposite of point A. So these are relatively cheap and quick fixes ultimately that you can do on your property to get up to a good living standard. Things such as painting, tiling, putting down new carpets, furnishing the property, maybe mowing the lawn, setting up some security cameras and security lights surrounding the property. These are all relatively cheap things that you can do. One thing I'll say though, even though these minor issues may not be as significant as their major counterparts individually in terms of financially and time-wise, I'll still say keep an eye on them because they can rack up in numbers so that roles reverse to a stage upon which the minor issues actually cost more than fixing the major issues. In conclusion, this is what I do whenever I view a property each and every time. I like to take photos, videos of everything in an organized way and also take notes of the major and the minor issues in that property. Whilst I'm viewing it, I then rack up numbers. I crunch the numbers in my head, guys. This is why you should have 2 questions before you even get there, specifically tailored towards that property. 1, what is your initial investment amount? Are you looking for a quick fix, to improve the interior, the cosmetic parts of the property? Or have you got a bit more in the bank to maybe fix that integrity of that property? Maybe the roofing needs fixing. And 2, how quickly do you need the property done up by for you to get what you want to out of it? These 2 questions should be running through your mind each and every time you view a property, so that when you actually go to view a property, whatever your answers are there compared to what you thought it was going to be before, if it's not a satisfactory level, then you can move on to the next property to view. Why? Because you haven't got the time nor the money to spend on that original one. A little bonus tip as well, even though you may be happy with viewing the property, I would still say hire some surveyors to do analysis on the property. The more analysis you do on the property before you buy it, the happier you will be when you buy it. That's all I've got to say. Now it's time for you guys to put this into practice. Leave a like down below, share this video too, and subscribe with notification bell on if you haven't done so already. It's your favorite YouTuber, guys, DS11 Finance, financial educating you guys to freedom for the beginners, by from the beginner, every Sunday at 3 PM. Bye. DS Learning Finance.